Hi everybody, good afternoon. I'm going this room, Network Security Essentials. I think it was last week this room. I was a little bit lazy to do the walkthrough for it. Learn about key aspect of network security essential and how to monitor and protect against adversaries. This room is free, so everybody can do. There's a lot of reading from it. Um, Basically, the networks are the backbone of every modern organization. Server, workstation, application, and security devices don't exist in isolation. So basically, this is about network learning objective. Okay, still there. In this room, we'll cover the following learning objectives: understand what network is and identify its key component, explore the concept of network perimeter and its importance, identify the key perimeter threats, examine the file log to monitor normal and suspicious logs. Some requested, yeah, you can do them, especially if you want to use the Splunk one. Uh, they give us some logs to play with. We have lab, that's the introduction. Now we have a lab connection. Uh, all file required to complete the room are placing in perimeter logs. So we have the folder for the logs. So that's our folder. And then they tell us the log file to be used in task 7 for investigation are pre-injected into Splunk, and Splunk is localhost at 8000 port 8000. So basically there's two ways to solve this room, where the room is doing command line, and then we can solve it also using um, a Splunk. We'll do both of them. So now this is introduction of network component building and blocks of network. For example, let's talk about small enterprise network, the usual network router, computer, switch, things like that, small. Um, User workstation endpoint, for example, employer do their daily work in workstation, PC's laptop. However, you are almost common entry point for attack, often via phishing. A phishing email drop malware on a finance user PC. Let's why is it view in full screen? Yeah. So let's put this down to make full screen. So we have, for example, file database server, application server, the web, email, VPN. This is just introduction for some kind of what you can find in network. Server email, of course, we have security issue, of course, exploited temp SQL injection, web app, brute force, for example, VPN, email, especially external IP of medium to big companies have Active Directory authentication server. AD, why is important? Because it is the main component that control all user account. Attacker commonly target AD for privilege escalation, persistence, lateral movement. From the security perspective, we need to monitor authentication log for suspicious behavior such as multiple failed login attempt, unusual login, account accessing. Of course, the router switch they can be also entered because most people, even they don't change the default password, admin, they don't update the framework. So it's important to accept and manipulate traffic if you can control it. Create backdoor for rerouting traffic. Of course, we have a firewall perimeter device. Also, this is important. As this is free room, guys. I'm more doing the lab. Network visibility here. We talk what's exactly here. What network visibility is essential in cybersecurity. It is ability to monitor and understand what's happening across your network. It is a core principle for security analysis. You can't defend what you can see. Something. For example, effective visibility allows security analysts to detect anomalies, investigate incidents, hunt for threats, ensure compliance. Host-centric log, for example, here we're talking about log like in Windows machine, you have event log, Linux, you have syslog, Mac logs, application log, security log, importance of host-centric log, data forensic because it's inside the host. Of course, we have a network which it helps us in communication between endpoint. what they show: source and destination IP, port, protocol, and the action taken, why they are important. They are give the crucial when, where, and how. This is very important, the communication between devices. Key network central log source: we have firewall, we have intrusion detection prevention system, IDS, IPS, router, and switches. We have web proxies, we have VPN. Importance, of course: early threat detection, identify command and control. C2, tracking lateral movement, detecting data exfiltration, and providing broad context. Of course, this is more redundant, so there is no question in the first ones. Now we're talking network perimeter. We have internal, external, and we have that DMZ that we'll talk about it. The perimeter, common component of network perimeter includes firewall, router, gateway, demilitarized zone DMZ. If you did some Cisco CompTIA exams, remote access gateway, VPN, secure. Importance of network perimeter: the network perimeter acts as a gatekeeper, controlling what goes in and out. So if a perimeter is weak or misconfigured, attacker can exploit exposed services, RDP, MySQL, SMB, etc., perform scanning, launch brute force, use data exfiltration. Basically, this is our lab later on. Network perimeter in a small enterprise. Sorry. So firewall, web server, internal. Most of the web server you don't, because most companies now they host their website outside, not really inside their business. So why does this matter? Unauthorized access, malware, role security review and firewall, device scanning, flagging and usual outbound traffic, understand what should and should not be exposed. So yeah, you can read if you want more detail of you refresh your memory. Now, network perimeter monitoring and protection. Monitor the perimeter. Spot early stage attack like port scan, brute force. We'll see this later on in the lab. Detect misconfiguration, identify outbound traffic, monitor the we have now, for example, an example here, scenario 1, probing for port scan. So for example here you see this an IP, for example 45 is 1010, that is the scanning local IP. Attacker is testing your network to see which port are open or closed. Log breakdown: the same external IP 113.10. This one, for example, is scanning is trying to connect to multiple ports in the same internal machine quickly. Analyst verdict: this is a classic port scan. The attack is looking for an open service to target. Scenario 2, attacking the web server, SQL injection. This you can see, for example, the GET request, then suddenly an ID, for example, product.php, ID 9, and then suddenly the ID change or the query search, and you can see here is doing XSS. For example, this log show a mix of allow and block action. Analysts can filter the action block and see what exactly block. The attack type is SQL injection. This is if you do an IDS log. Firewall usually just a block. We'll see in the lab just now. Now guessing a password in VPN, for example, you have admin Bijons, so you can see there is a guessing game here. The log flood with fail auth and success auth event. A few successful login from various IP are normal. The problem is a massive volume of failure. That basically when you see too much failure, to find the attack, analyst will filter the group of log by source IP. Doing so will immediately reveal that the suspicious user is responsible for hundreds of failed login. Let's practice these things. So key takeaway: an analyst job is to separate normal traffic. This is a key part. Look for suspicious pattern, repetition from one source to many destinations, scanning, repetition from one source to one destination, brute force, traffic at perfect regular interval, malware beginning. Context is key, and ideas are telling you why something was flagged is more valuable than a simple firewall block. Yeah, firewall usually just blocks, but the ideas can tell you what's happening. Now, what exactly we're supposed to do now? Uh, CD desktop. So we are task 6 now. Let's make this bigger. I think it's already big. We'll make it more bigger. Let's see how big is this. Let's not make it too. Okay, so clear. Clear ls. So we have firewall log, we have VPN, and we have the WAF log. So the question was said, examine the firewall logs, which IP address is performing the port scan. So let's start with the firewall log. So if we do the head function, so let's yeah, we can just not do the just grab minus. I don't want to cut cab letter, just make block like that. So we already see a scanning in this IP 2122. So it's already used in the 110 what pop 8053 DNS. What is 41433 445 It's MySQL. Where's the source IP? Yeah, we can see this IP is keep scanning. So you can have sure is scanning this at the 20 ports. So we can see this is more sure that's the IP that's scanning, which is performing the scan. Now we have the WAF logs. Which single source IP is responsible for the all blocked web attacks? What? The WAF log. Clear. Let's see what's the WAF log is that. He said the block. So let's do what we did before. Grab. You can do block like that. The question, what it said again? Sorry. Which single source IP is responsible for all the blocks web attacks? Which IP now? The source IP is 19198 is the same IP, and you can see what it's doing. It's you can see ID union. So you can see it's doing SQL injection here, and then reading the LFI, reading the etc password file, so we can know it. The next question is, in the VPN logs, how many brute force attempts failed? So let's clear what's the name of the VPN log. So let's get the struct of that file. Okay, they have success and failed, so we can grab the failed from the VPN. What's the question? Why I keep forgetting the question? How many brute force attempt is failed? So we can just count this WC minus L, which give us 90. So we can see all these names here. Is it the same IP? 45.137. Yeah, it's same IP. So we have 90. So we can get that out of the way. Now the next question is, which suspicious IP address was found attempting to brute force attack against this is the VPN thing. So that's the IP 45. Yes. Okay, now we have a good scenario to play with. This one. Sorry guys. So let's go this one, clear CD, go CD to challenge. Then we have this challenge. Clear. Let's look. So we have the firewall, so we can check the head. What I'm doing. first of all, you always check what you have, so you can see what the struct of the log. You can see there's a time, there's the action or the alert, for example. um, what that one is, allow. Guys, give me a second, I have someone calling me. Hi everybody, sorry I'm back now. So we know the log, we have a firewall log, so we can know that. So we can do ahead for the next one, ADS. The ADS is different, so we have a time, then it tells you exactly what happened. ET policy suspicious, HTTP classification suspicious. So we have, this is interesting, the policy, web server, possible SQL injection. So what's the next one? Had the VPN, which gives us the brute force in case. So success sign, so we have the username, we have the alert, success or fail, then we have the sign IP. This is very important information. Now if the follow-up, now the head, like we did this, we had that. Now the question is reconnaissance attempt. Now basically we're trying to, of course, you always see what the firewall was blocking. I don't like to use cat with the grep. This is like an extra step. You can just grep the block one directly from the firewall. There is no need for cat. So now we have the block, so we can see here. Yeah, manually you can see there's a lot of blocks in this. Is blocking the 23. Look also the timing. There's 5, 4, and 3. This room get me a bit confused with the date of time. I think, I'm not sure. I mean, how the simulation was done different days. We have very interesting. The third is pushing in the 50 IP. In the 20, it was in the 28 August. You can see is another block in targeted the IP, and the IP now is the external IP23. And then after that switch to 250, and the 3rd of September they switch local IP later on. But we can guess that earlier it's basically targeting this host, the 10.00.20, and we have this IP. So so we have the block, so we got that. So this is a nice trick one. Grab block. Now we can use, because cat can filter that what I'm not sure the grab we can do. Now we can use the cat, not like before. So we don't need a longer. We can keep the grab that we have here because it gives us. No. I'm confused. No. Now we can use the cut now after that, so we don't need double cut. So you can see this IP, it's even with this, the majority of IP is there, but it can give us the idea here, so we can see it's there, so it's not like surprising. So this IP is not surprise for it. So in this one will give us basically, if we, because it's a long, for example, the firewall logs what external perform the most reconnaissance, so we can know this one IP is already there. Then and then so we have this, we have that. Why reducting this one? What was that reduction? The 10.80.23. That's what is IP for. We'll come back later to it. And then we have identified suspicious IP, which we can use to pivot. Examine other log file and stand the correlation. Let's use the following query to find if our firewall has allowed any request to the suspicious IP. So now the idea now is, let's leave this open because I like to keep this information in front of me. So let's get another tab. Now we're going to we're trying to get the same IP and grab allow. So from the firewall structure is this allow, then the IP. So we can do a grab minus E. If I remember how to not be lazy, allow, and then what's the IP that we're looking for is this one, because we know it's most of it from the firewall log. And then we can see, because this is, you can do egrep. So allow, because we know the struct of the log, allow, then the IP. So show me any allow with the IP in the same line. So we can see now allowed. So it allow in different pieces. Because remember, the first scanning was in the August the 20th. Because if you look this, it start in 28 August. It was scanning the 20. So the allow, it happened, it allow a 60 and a 50. So these two IPs, one with a triple, which is well known, it means so that's like a C2. You have a 50, and then next day it's allow in the 50 and the 60. So you can see it's allow in there, then jump into even September. Okay, let's follow. So we got that. So it seems that the attacker was able to gain access to internal network through exploitation. Let's examine the VPN log and see if we can find further footprint. Now the VPN is looking for the fail. Of course, we need the unique. What? Let's. Yeah, I like this one, but I don't need like the cat. Let's go to another one so we can keep the story in the tabs so we don't lose tracks. So if we go to head VPN, we grab the fail from the VPN, and then we use the cat to give that the stat. No, not you. So we have the 203045. Basically, this is the same IP we have here, and then same IP here. So in so there is a failed brute forcing in the VPN, but what exactly is brute forcing? Um, we can grab minus E. We can do fail. We can do the fail. How we did it before? Fail. I forgot how we did that. Dot. Fail, and then we need the no, it's reverse. The fail is that side. So first of all, this IP dot. I'm interested with the fail from VPN. Let's. Oh no. Oh. I think I'm not able to. I'm looking for this IP. Let's not do too much points here. kidding me? Grep failed from VPN. What exactly we doing here? IP is 203. Oops. One nine eight. Yeah, there's a failure in the 203. Why my grep function doesn't bring it? Yeah, we have the fail in 203. So why my too much fancy is not working? Allow, that's allowed in the IP. So why reverse doesn't work? Uh, well, I'm not picking up this 203. This one was fine work. Oh, I see. Okay, so sorry guys. So we can see this IP is, oh, okay, now we can see very well. Look for the time. So the 3rd of September, I'm not sure if the dates, the logs are not the same or something. So we know it start scanning the 28th. So we can see is this. So if we go there, we can clearly see the suspicious has multiple failed VPN login attempt. Let's now use the following command to narrow down on this suspicious IP assertion below. Exactly what we did here. Now we can see now is trying to push this one, so it's clearly targeting this one. Uh, we can remove that. We can just um, above the results show that the multiple login attempt was made against certain users via reductor, following by success login. So if we do um, how do you spell the success? What I'm doing now, is it cap letters? Fail, cap letter. Yeah, it has success after that. So that's why there's a question. And when I'm making video, people start calling me now. Which username was targeted by the V, and we can do that. Remember this, the target scan, we found it somewhere. Remember when we said it's scanning this one? Remember 28 August? Uh, uh, guys, I don't want you to be angry with me. I need to pause. It's sorry again. Okay, guys, I'm back. So where we are now. We found the external IP, the first scan, the one what brute force is VC backup. Now, what internal IP was assigned after 64 VPN login? Um, hmm, Yeah, you don't know where, because no, the timing is very important to answer this question. Um, because we need to see when the fail was the last fail you can see it's in we might target in the, I don't know this room how it was done, because now the fail is in the third, so we need to look for the 3rd September, because we need to oh, the IP, the 203 IP. If you look at the third, this one, that's the IP. It was assigned this IP. When we use a Splunk, it will be clear. So the date is, if you move the file, did they make any funny stuff to do this? Let's see how fancy they did it. Is there a command we can do it smarter? Let's see. Before C beginning, lateral movement. Now before we do the SVC reducted followed by access login resulting in attacker being assigned a local IP address. So we can see the logic. So because the fail, we can see the fail is happening in the third. So the assumption is what's IP was done in the third. We can see the third is this one. So we can pretty sure we can say that one. Now, the lateral movement, now by now it's confirmed that attacker has successfully gained the initial access and got hold of an internal IP address. Let's filter through the firewall and see what we can find from this IP address. So this IP address. So now let's give this IP address. Let's open one so we can follow the story and we don't get confused. The firewall. So we can do grep. We can just no, before we grep, let's remember the firewall structure. Yeah, we can just what we grep in. We grep in the IP we found, the allow, and see what happened. So we can just grep -e. We grep the allow, and then anything after that with this IP from the firewall log. Now you can see now the allow TCP from this IP. Okay, well, verify. Remember that allow happened in the third, so we need to look for the third. Not where is this? Is the fifth? Where is the third? So it means I don't know what exactly this attacker. After the third, he just went sleeping and then come back in the fifth. There's an assignment in the fifth? No, so he kept that IP without using it. It's not the fifth here. I'm not sure this confusion of the timing. So in the fifth is start scanning local IPs. So it was allowed this IP to scan the local IPs, and then we got what lateral movement. It's observed that the compromised IP is probably an internal machine, the .20, .51, and .60, and that's exactly what we have here. .51, .60, and .20, the three IPs is doing. And then let's now pivot to IDS alert and filter through compromised IP and see if we can find the intrusion lure. Okay, so we have the IP. Now let's open again once so we can keep the story clear for us. Zoom in. Guys, why people keep talking me? Head IDS. We just need the IP, so we can just grab directly the IP. We do not doing any fancy things. IDS. What exactly this IP give me? Did they do any fancy stuff here? Lateral movement. The IDS grab the IP. we can see possible MSP lateral movement, possible RDP, but the timing is the 5th. Authorized access, possible SH, the 5th. 445, so it's in SMB, some stuff, RDP. So now we can say is it seems the compromised host is trying to exploit virus vulnerability against the services mentioned above. One of the ideas rule indicate SMB exploit. So now they try. Let's grab the SMB from that IP and then do the cut. Let's do the cut. I like this filter. So if I grab so what we have here again, you grab the IP, grab the SMB both, so we know where the SMB, we know the IP is first in the line. We can do the grep minus E, and then we have the IP that we're looking for, then dot anything after that with SMB keyword, because the SMB come here. So SMB, where's the IP? Oh, that's the IP. So the IP first, then SMP protocol. Let's get that. Huh. No, it's reverse. SMB is the first word. SMB and dot anything in the IP. So we got our SMB lateral movement from this IP. You can see the IP is 6060, targeting all of them for some reason. Remember the date of 5th. What exactly I'm looking at now? SMB lateral movement. Yeah, we got SMB. So what exactly is story here? We look in the numbers. Okay, let's get a log. Let's after we got, let's get the numbers. Cut lateral movement. Now we got exploit possible SMB lateral movement and the IP and all these ports 445. So we got we got the ports 445, which should give us an answer, I think, for the next one. So let's do them so you don't forget. What port is for SMB exploitation is 445. So if we follow now the story in the room, where is that SMB part? This is the exfiltration, the beaconing, and then we got lateral movement. So now we are in this lateral 445. So I just like my red colors, you can see unauthorized access, so we can see the port and things like that. So we cool. So we have what happened here again. This is the firewall allowing the lateral. So we mean start with brute forcing the VPN. Now the C2 beaconing. Remember we see this now. So we got in the IDS graph the C2, the C2 from IDS. Let's go back then. It's good we have an IDS here. So view zoom in, view zoom in. So if we do grep C2 from IDS, now we can see possible C2 beaconing, and it's talking about the IP 60. So 60 is the remember the time. Now the time is switching to 29 September for whoa. It's still the C2, the 24, the 23rd. Where's the start of this thing? 11. the datum confusing me. You can see at now this one, you see very C2 beaconing to, this is the IP from the 60. Okay, so we have so we can see it's calling an external IP, and 44, remember we saw the 44 before, so it give us that IP for the what is which host. uh, this is the beginning, we know it, and the host we know, can see it's all happen with the 60, so we know that. So now after we get the beginning, now we can go to data exfiltration. Now that we have identified the C2 communication and examine other alert as well against suspicious, what this one is, let's now investigate if there are any indicators of data being exfiltrated out of our network. Out of our network. Let me, how many time left for this? 1 hour, okay. Mm, yeah, we can use this fancy rule. Let's get that fancy. So we have the beginning. Let's leave that one there. Let's open again. Now we grabbing that IP that we got now. We cut that things there. Where's that IP? The 19. What exactly you want to do here? Is grabbing the firewall log. Yeah, the firewall log. Of course, that cut. I don't like that cut. Firewall. Uh, what? The output clearly shows the compromised host is sending extensive amount of traffic and external address IP. We can also filter the IDS. IDS will give answer. We have the 60 is beginning. Not really. Doesn't really give you the answer, because we have the 51 is doing something in port 80, catching something. So 51 is busy. The 60 we know it's the beacon. What else we have here? We have no, this is a reply back. So we have a 50 and the 60 and the 51. No, the 60 we know this is the beacon. The 51. Let's remove the timing. I'm getting let's remove that. Is get me headaches. Um, because of the time, because without the timing these things are confusing. So we have the 20 we know, but we have the 50 and 20 before, and then we have the 51 start appearing here. The 60 we know is a beacon. Now these are 51 start appearing. The 60 is a beacon, so the 51, now you can see the 51 is sending requests. Now to confirm, of course, we need to go to the IDS alert. Let's take this IP to the IDS, and let's open a new. Now we can just grab this IP from the IDS, and you can see what exactly it say. It say possible HTTP post large upload. So now you can confirm this is where the data is sent, and that's why it gives us answer to this question. Which host show exploitation attempt? No, what? This one. Now the question is if we can do this in Splunk. Uh, Sorry, what? Oh, local. Yeah, what is going on with Firefox today? Local. I'm not touching. I'm not touching. Local. I'm not. Just press enter. Okay. Remember they told us that now the logs are injected in Splunk. Let's see if we can pull this story in Splunk. If we can get it right. Why is it slow now? We can go to search. Can we zoom this thing? Sorry guys. All time, and then we can do the index network logs. So this is one. Let's start like we did before. We start with remember, if we follow the same story, yes. We check the firewall. Let's say go to we can go to the firewall log, and then we can action. We can say block, and then that's what I don't like. Splunk doesn't show you too much. You need to always type. You can see the name of the variable here is source IP, source port, and things like that. So let's I'm getting a bit dizzy. Time source IP. So see, let's not do fancy stuff. Destination IP, the destination port, action block. Let's see what it gives us. This. You see, you can see what we did. Let's do sort. Sort by time. The 26, 27, we talk about this. We can see in 28 it start doing the 20, the dot 20 IPs, the local. Remember when we said that dot 20 host? We can also do. We can see that. Then we can also do this. We can do stats count by destination IP, and then we can just sort count. So you can see the 20 is 145, and then here's the 50, because remember that's why I said the time to investigate is you must look at the time, so we can see the what's happening here. What also we can do is we can do stat count, and you can just add stuff here like values destination IP. No, destination port. We know the IP is. If you want to see what is scanning, sort by no sort Let's see if it is correct. You can see the ports. So you have 20 scanning 21, 23, 20 and things like that. So it gives us an idea that 20 things. So now we have the firewall log for the block. So now we didn't have the, where is the source IP? This, no, this is for most, but we need to look for that a block. No, we're not looking for the destination port. I don't need that. No, no, looking for IP, and we get our friend IP here. That's usually there. Now we can go back. You can just go there because we don't need to make tables for this. You can just say action and press a block, and you can see a block, and you can just go again in the source IP, and you can see the IP, most IP is this one. So you can click on it and check what is it, and you can just do table, as I said, time, and then you can see destination IP and destination port, and we can see what the IP is doing. So if we follow the same logic here, so we check the block in IP, we check the firewall. Now we and we check what's allowing this. We can just a block, we just change it to allow, and it was allowed to a local network. Now the next one, of course, will be VPN brute force. So for VPN, we can just remove this now. We go to source type, we can go to VPN logs, and then we can go to result, looking for the block, the fail one. And if we look for the fail one, of course the fail, you get null assign IP, that's normal. Then result is fail source IP. If you look now, most of the fail happening in the 203 IP, so we can just look there, and we can see the fail most, but success, so we can do success to see which one. And then if we look here, we can go a username, we can see it was you can see it's there, but that's why the time is very important to investigate this. So if we go table, give me the time, give me the username, give me a signed IP, and you can see Alice Bob also. The time is very important. Then we have this SVC backup and that IP. If you want to see it clearer, remove this result success and just let the fail to that, and you can see now there. If you go down and the next, you can see all this, the date, the 3rd of September. 3rd of September, it's still there. Is now you can see null, switch to Alice Bob, so still is fail. The next one, what the, where is the success one? Oh, Alice Bob, where is the, I'm getting confused now. Why all null here? Source IP, does the source IP change? Assign username src IP. And do sort time. Why the first query didn't? He can pick it up here, but this is 28 August. Where's the fail? That's the null. Oh, the IP is not the same. I'm getting confused now. 198.51.145. Where we saw this IP? That's the C2. And the assigned IP is 8023. Why the log give me different 8023? Oh yeah, that's one to show it. So after the null in the 3rd of September, you can see 73740. He was able to log in now from this IP. I don't know why that query didn't pick it up. And you got this IP, the 108023. So we know the 10023. So we know the FC backup was cracked in that time in lateral movement. Now, what else? Oh, the IDS. Hold on a minute. SVC reductor followed by access, and now we need to get that IP from the firewall log. So we know he's got this. Let's take this copy. Let's open another search because I'm getting confused. I like to open tabs so you can follow the story. All time index equal network logs. We just need to go to the firewall, and then the source IP, the one, not destination IP, the source IP, the one that we got 023, this one. So basically we're following this logic. Allow from that IP. So if we go to action allow, now you can, yeah, of course you can do that table time destination IP destination port to see what's going on. You can see the scanning as we did before, and the 3389445, this SMB, and then lateral movement, we got that. And then let's confirm in the IDS, and we grab that IP in the IDS. We can what that the source, we can just, okay, let's be lazy. Where is that IDS? The source type, now we can just switch to an IDS log, and then we're looking for that IP. This IP, the 23 IP, 108023. Let me confirm is that's IP, yeah? The IP we found, the 108023, yeah. What we have an alert. You can see MS SMB lateral movement. Remember, then we try to filter there. Remember, we did the grep firewall in that SMB. IDS C to beginning. So we grab here the SMB. So we can see now of course you can do the table, time, destination, IP, IP destination port, and then not you, sort is your time reverse. Yeah, and you can see the 45 different IP. You have the 2051, but we don't know which one exactly. But it gives us an idea what's going on. Then we go to the C2, because now we can go to the IDS straight. So if you go to source IDS, remove that. An IDS log, we can go to the alert button, the C2 beacon, and you can see E2 Trojan, possible C2, and then we have that. And now we can do source SRC I know, table, time SRC SRC port, destination IP, destination port, um, sort, reverse. Let's reverse the time. Here we go to 26 September. We can see now the 60. The 60 is calling the 19877. Did we got 77? Yeah, the 77. And we have the beacon for 60. So we can see it is there. So we cool in that point. Now later on we talk about exfiltration. Where is that exfiltration? C2 beaconing. And then data exfiltration attempt. We went to the firewall, and which IP we did, I forgot what IP. This and for the C2 is communicating exam other alert as well. So we know this IP. Let's take this IP. Now we're going back to the firewall. Let's go to source type VPN. Let's go to this one. Let's start the log. We can go to source type. We're going to back to the firewall. Now destination IP. We know that this source IP, destination IP, the 77, this one. And then because there we can just have our table reader. We can do time. We already have destination. Let's get this source IP, source port, and let's get the destination port because we already have the and then we have the 26, we have the 51 with the port 8044, we have the beacon for 16, we have this 51 accompanying. To confirm that, we need to go to the IDS and see what exactly this one is doing. So if I go back to the IDS firewall log, so type IDS, and then the local IP, the source, no, not the source, the destination IP dot 51, and then if I flag that my table, my time, because it's a destination, we need a source IP, a source port, and then destination DST port. Now also we need the alert, and then let's say sort reverse. Let's do reverse time. So in what happening here? Yeah, the time 22 September is not what we're looking for because it's not part of the our of timing. You see that the dates are freaking let's go back to the not reversing. Let's get the this is 25 August benign scan, But remember, we know it's calling the 198, so we're only interested in the 198 IP, so we can just go dot suspicious HTTP 19. What that IP again? 70. What exactly our filter is? Destination IP 51. Where is the log for that IP? The 77. Policies, policy suspicious HTTP. What are we supposed to find? Large upload. Why are we not seeing it here? Am I getting something not right here? Where is this possible large? I think we're doing a wrong filter or something. Cat. I think we need to filter it correctly. We need to have a destination IP. We know it, so we know the destination IP. Where is it? Let's filter in destination IP. We know this IP, and we know the 51. Now if I filter these two, it should be now give me the correct information. I don't need the destination because I'm filtering it on it. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Why this one is here? Alert. Oh, now we can see the alert we're looking for. Post large upload. So the communication between the 51 and that 77, it's large post upload, which confirm basically the a little bit of the timing, like 19 September. I'm not sure how they test this ROM, because if you they create this ROM, should be the same dates. The dates are not a different, like whole range from August to September or something. So possible HTTP post large. I think this guy is not complicated. They said maybe they will create another room for Splunk. But I hope you got where are you? So we did the manual one. Let's close this. So the command, you saw how you can do the command. You see how you can do it in Splunk. Yeah, so now conclusion. Of course, in this room you learned that enterprise network is not just a collection of computer and server. It's an ecosystem with a critical component like firewall, active directory, application server, file database server, endpoint, and wireless access point. The network perimeter acts as a boundary between trusted and untrusted networks. Attackers test this boundary constantly with port scan, brute force attempt, and exploit against exposed services. Monitoring the perimeter allows SOC analysts to detect this early sign before attacker can move deeper into the network. As security analysts, our role is to recognize normal via suspicious network traffic, escalate unusual activity to higher SOC tier, and understand how each network component fits into the bigger picture of enterprise defense. Oof, sorry guys, a bit long. Thank you very much guys. Hope you liked. If you have a question, let me know in the comment. Please like and subscribe, and thank you very much.